storm of 1994.
The roads are starting to clear, but will there be traffic jams? We'll have a live report from Sky 11. We'll also tell you what they're saying in Frankfort about the way the county handled the storm. Fire in southern Indiana sends 4 to the hospital, and the cold makes it tough for firefighters. And what's going to happen to all you folks who missed work and your paychecks this week?
And a verdict is in the Lorena Bobbitt trial. We'll have that for you. The 5 o'clock news is up right now.
This is Kentuckiana's 24-hour news channel, WHAS 11. Live at 5 from the leader in television news, Gene West, Julie Koenig with the Job File, and Chuck Taylor. This is Kentuckiana's news channel, WHAS 11.
More signs of life are popping up over Kentuckiana tonight. On the roads, you can see asphalt for the first time in a week. And from Sky 11, you can get a glimpse of what people are thinking.
Good evening. Our top story tonight on the 5 o'clock news. After 5 days, it appears we're finally digging out of the storm of 94. The good news is more people are able to get out and around and return to their normal lives. The bad news, there are still some major problems to be taken care of.
As day breaks across Kentuckiana, a clear sign that the temperatures are rising. From Sky 11, you can see this bank of fog moving in over the Ohio River. But as the fog lifts and folks try to get out, they're hit with the bitter cold, and in the south end, still snow-covered streets.
I think I heard the county judge saying this morning that every road in the county's been plowed.
Well, maybe we succeeded from the county because there hadn't been a plow back here.
In southern Indiana, a terrible fire. 6 people rescued, 4 of them hurt. But the firefighters trying to stay a step ahead of the cold.
Any fire is hard to fight, and when you have conditions like this, it's hard for you to move. Your equipment gets ice on it. You can't move around.
2 frozen hydrants, 4 frozen air tanks.
And some signs of progress. For the first time since Monday, you can see the asphalt on the interstate and traffic moving in an almost usual way.
Well, let's see if the traffic is still moving along tonight. Let's check in with our Julie Koenig in Sky 11. Julie, how are things doing now?
Well, Gene, this just goes to show that even if you have asphalt to drive on, it doesn't mean that the drive's going to be any easier if you're coming into Kentuckiana. Let's take a look at I-65 northbound. You'll recall last night at about this hour, the southbound lane was wall-to-wall with trucks. Now it looks like the slowup is in the northbound lane. We are told that the problem has to do with the entrance ramp at Fern Valley Road. Apparently Fern Valley is kind of shut down right now as a wrecker tries to extract some semis that had been stuck in that vicinity, and that is causing a slowup as people try to get onto northbound 65. You can see that the traffic there is kind of creeping along compared to the southbound lanes, which are moving fairly well. Also to pass on to you tonight, 64 westbound is closed at Hurstbourne. Remember, 64 was just reopened today. Again, that is due to snow problems. We flew over the bridges. Traffic is picking up on the Clark Memorial Bridge, the JFK Bridge, so expect a small delay when you get there. Other than that, coming out of Spaghetti Junction, 64 and 71 both look good heading out of town. A lot less snow on the ramps today thanks to the sun and some warmer temperatures. We are going to continue to keep an eye on 65 and also try to hit some other areas around town. So we'll be heading up into the Portland area yet this half hour. We'll let you know what things look like up there in a few minutes.
All right. Thanks, Julie Koenig. High above us in Sky 11. It's still not over for thousands of homeowners in Jefferson County whose neighborhoods have yet to be plowed. Now tonight at 6 o'clock, Chuck Olmstead has more.
There's no, you complain so much, well, it don't do any good.
Now tonight at 6, Chuck Olmstead has more on why homeowners feel as if they've been forgotten and what officials are promising in relief. Now, while snow still covers the subdivisions, the interstates have cleared up. The only thing that's at a standstill on the highways right now is our Stephanie Collins. Stephanie?
Hello, Gene. Now, Julie just told you that there's some traffic problems along Interstate 65. That's south just a bit. I'm standing here at the Eastern Parkway Exchange. As you can see, traffic is moving along at a pretty good clip, about 40-45 miles an hour. Again, as we've told you, this interstate has been open now for the second day, and things are a lot different than they were yesterday. But now all the interstates across Kentuckiana are open. But that doesn't necessarily mean things are easy going.
Well, 71's one lane. It's treacherous. Just have to run 45, 50 mile an hour. Be careful.
Just coming across 65 out of New Albany, Indiana.
Pretty good?
Southbound, northbound's bad. But other than that, the Indiana roads are good.
Now this is Interstate 65 just after noon today. Traffic backs up all the way to Fern Valley Road. It's not so much the ice and snow that are causing these problems, it's getting all the cars and trucks out of town. Now we're back out here live on Interstate 65, and like we said, there's no problems right now southbound or now northbound, but Julie up in Sky 11 is saying that they're having some problems down near the Fern Valley Road interchange, Gene.
All right, thanks, Stephanie Collins reporting live from Interstate 65. Now, trouble on the roads goes double for those who must walk on the roads. And that's many of us, because many of the sidewalks are completely snow-covered. Several days ago, the pedestrians literally owned the roads. Nobody else was out, but that's not the case anymore. More folks are out in cars, but the sidewalks are still covered.
No, in 78 there was a big snow, but I don't even remember it being remotely like this. Maybe because I was a lot younger and it was a lot more fun.
You should know that neither the city nor county are responsible for most of the sidewalks, so walkers have to rely on their neighborhoods. For the past couple of days, there have been a lot of finger pointing here in Jefferson County over who should clean which roads. Our Mark Hebert went to Frankfort today to try to look for some answers. He joins us now with news of what he found. Mark?
Well, Jane, some Jefferson County and Louisville officials have privately been criticizing the state's help in clearing local highways. The state is responsible for clearing 467 miles of interstates and state roads here in Jefferson County. In some cases, those highways are still in poor shape. Kentucky's Transportation Secretary and Governor Jones both say they'll be taking a look at whether the state should assign more plows and manpower to Jefferson County.
There's no need for a knee-jerk reaction. We need to analyze this. There may, for example, we may find that we were short on number of snow plows, and that if we could buy snow plows that we could affix to the front of some of our four-wheel vehicles that we already have, and we're talking about maybe spending just a small amount of money that would allow us to make some major gains, then that would be a decision of everybody probably would agree to buy a few more snow plows.
Now, currently, the state keeps 21 snow plows in Jefferson County, though more than half of them aren't working right now because of mechanical problems. Many of the plows you see on the highway today have contracts with the state. The governor believes state transportation department workers have done the best job possible under very tough conditions. Gene?
All right, Mark, thanks. Now, down at City Hall, they're getting the break they've been waiting for, warmer temperatures. Our Jim Turner is live at the command center to update us on the latest snow removal operations. Jim?
Gene, today sunny skies and temperatures in the 20s did do more to clear the roads than any snow plows could do, but we need the snow plows, and today fire trucks and garbage trucks hit the streets in force. From Sky 11, you can't miss the garbage truck below. The garbage trucks actually started picking up garbage yesterday. Those trucks and fire trucks are rolling down every residential road in the city and the county. There aren't enough plows to clear every street, so these trucks are supposed to at least break up some of the snow and ice. Also today, the state sent more snow plows to Jefferson County, 21 more plows. In the future, Louisville Mayor Jerry Abramson says he hopes for more extensive support from the state.
They've had some real difficulties, there's no question. They've been stretched probably thinner than any other governmental entity. And hopefully out of this, maybe in the future, they'll redeploy some additional equipment and some additional focus to the Jefferson County area.
Back out live now at the command center. A few other notes today. First, TARC, the bus service in Louisville, Jefferson County, and southern Indiana. Most of the routes are getting back to normal. They hope to return to a normal schedule tomorrow, although there are several delays. Just a few minutes ago, we talked to some people downtown on Liberty. They said that they had been waiting an hour and 45 minutes for a bus, so obviously some delays with TARC. We knew there would be some delays. Also, a lot of water main breaks still. For instance, in the last 24 hours, the city reports 43 water main breaks in 24 hours. So problems with pipes that froze up earlier in the week when the temperatures dipped down into the -20 range. And one other note, LG&E reports today that throughout the storm, roughly 42,000 customers lost power at one time or another. Most, if not all, of those customers have power tonight, Gene.
All right, thanks. Jim Turner reporting live from Command Central Force. Now, if you have children, here's something you may not want to hear. Jefferson County schools could have yet another day off on Monday. Here's the reason why. There is a worry that school buses won't be able to drive safely on snow-covered roads. The transportation director says whether they have school on Monday depends on how much the plows can clear over the weekend.
Today, this afternoon, they're improving. We expect that even more improvement will occur Saturday and Sunday. We will evaluate conditions Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, before we make a final decision on what to recommend to the superintendent for Monday.
Now, students have missed 3 days of class so far. Those days will likely have to be made up at the end of the year, but no final decision has been made on that. Of course, students aren't the only folks who have to worry about making up lost time. Most businesses have lost a week of work. We sampled a few of our area's biggest employers to see how they're handling making up for lost time. Humana tells us they're going to pay their employees from Monday through Wednesday. Those were the days they were closed. Now, factory workers at GE are eligible to receive unemployment benefits. As for salaried personnel, they're still trying to work out a plan, but they will get paid. Employees at Alliant Healthcare who missed this week will have to make it up with flex time. They tell us they have to do that since they're not able to close. Naval Ordnance employees will be paid for the days the plant was closed, but people at Naval Ordnance who missed yesterday and today must take them as vacation days. And at Ford, officials there say they still need to see what the union contract calls for in this kind of a situation. Our Chuck Taylor joins us now for a first look at the weather, and that fog this morning was quite
really
dramatic.
Something. And that's going to be another problem tonight, and in fact, fog is going to be a problem for quite a while around here until we get rid of that heavy snow cover. So let's talk about the potential problems for tonight. First of all, temperatures did manage to get into the 20s today, and on roadways there was quite a bit of melting, but now we're going to see those roadways refreeze. Temperatures overnight will drop to around 10 above, and that means there will be patchy, dense fog after midnight. So we could have problems late tonight and early tomorrow. Now, from our storm team trackers, they all got a break today with the sunshine. And right now in Lexington, Indiana, up in Scott County, it is 20 degrees. In Bardstown, Kerry Minen reports 20 degrees there. Josh Grimes up in Carrollton had an early morning low of 11 below zero. Now it's 17. Well, we'll have the latest on our weekend weather in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Chuck. When we come back, a look at news from outside of Kentuckiana, including the latest from Southern California. But as we go to what was the first thing you did when you finally made it outside, here's a sample.
Was glad to get out because I was bored inside.
What'd you do?
What I do, came to work.
That's no fun.
No. But it was fun because I got to get out. Got out of that cabin fever.
Other news from around the world and the country tonight. Lorena Bobbitt has been found not guilty of maliciously wounding her husband. A jury just hours ago found her not guilty by reason of insanity. This is Lorena arriving at the courthouse in Manassas, Virginia this morning to wait for the verdict. Bobbitt sexually mutilated her husband. She claimed he had abused her. Lawyers are now arguing if Lorena should be sent to a psychiatric hospital. And people in Southern California felt 7 aftershocks in 21 minutes today. It's just one of the problems after Monday's earthquake. Here was another problem. Look at this truck that just dropped off an interstate ramp. The driver became confused and drove off the broken freeway. The truck landed in the blade of a bulldozer. Luckily, he wasn't hurt badly. Here's how the earthquake felt. This is a grocery store surveillance camera catching Monday's quake. This tape shows just how frightening it looked and felt. The Secretary General of the United Nations wants to consider airstrikes in Bosnia. The problem is the Serbian forces won't let UN troops into towns they're supposed to protect. Boutros Ghali says if the Serbs do not cooperate, the UN would give the order to use airstrikes in Bosnia. And Kentucky State Police are investigating the death of a Fort Knox man. Someone discovered the man's body in Meade County around 8 this morning. Police say the man was 43 years old and he died from gunshot wounds. The victim is a military dependent. Police are not releasing his name and they do not have a motive for the shooting yet. We've seen our share of water main breaks here because of the cold weather, but take a look at what happened in New York. This break sent water gushing into the streets and it flooded a tunnel. 200 people had to leave their homes.
Honor each other together as husband and wife for the rest of
And
your
you can't let 16 inches of snow and sub-zero temperatures cancel your wedding. Lawrence Ruhr and Deborah Bunch tied the knot yesterday in Florence, Kentucky. The storm left them stranded at a shelter. A volunteer put together the arrangements in 12 hours. Lawrence and Deborah literally had cold feet, but they decided a snowstorm would not ruin their happiness. Just how warm will it get this weekend? Chuck Taylor will let us know. And if you need some ideas of what to do, here's what others did when they first got out today.
I went to work. That was the first thing I did. My dad's a police officer. He was called in at 6 a.m. Monday morning. So it really hasn't been a problem for us. We all drive four-wheel drives.
Well, I went to the video store, but everything had already been rented. So really it was pretty much go to work, go to the grocery, and back home.
So, is Chuck Taylor, Ken Schultz, and Ashley Chisholm, the WHAS 11 Storm Team.
Early this morning, we had problems with dense fog. The air was a little more moist last night, and as temperatures dropped under clear skies to the dew point, that dense fog formed. We also had a little inversion layer over the city, but all that lifted at mid-morning, and with bright sunshine, temperatures climbed well into the 20s this afternoon. The same situation may occur again tomorrow morning, so that's something to remember. And later on, as really warm air starts to move in over the snow cover, we again will watch out for dense fog. There is some moisture in the form of mostly rain over Texas. Eventually that's going to head in our direction, and I think by Monday we could see maybe a few light showers around here. Initially this precipitation is going to be on the light side. It's a situation we will be monitoring because of course we do have the potential for flooding, but it looks like for the next few days we don't have anything to worry about. Now that big high pressure system is dropping to the south. To our west, the southwest winds are really taking over, and you can see it really warmed up. To our west, 30 around St. Louis and Kansas City, 45, even up around Des Moines. The temperature is 36, and in Chicago, the temperature is 23. There are the clouds over Texas. Those clouds will be streaming in here over the weekend. Right now, our temperature is 20. The humidity is 71%. We have a southwest wind at 8. The barometer now falling at 30.57 inches. We made it to 24 for our high. Our early morning low, a cold -6, but that was not a record. Now, during the day tomorrow, we'll start off with that fog. Then in the afternoon, a few clouds will be rolling in. Main thing is it will be milder. Here in detail is my forecast for tonight. Fair skies this evening with patchy fog later on tonight. Overnight lows will be around 10. Tomorrow we will see some patchy morning fog, then becoming partly sunny. Above freezing tomorrow afternoon with a high of 35. Tomorrow night a repeat of the fog. Overnight lows near 20 degrees. On Sunday up to 40. 44 on Monday, but by Monday we could see a few light showers, and on Tuesday a high of 50 with a few light showers. So the snow cover is going to be melting gradually over the next few days.
All right, Chuck, thank you. Now the warmer weather is definitely helping out in the efforts to clear the streets. For the latest on the current road conditions, let's check back in with Julie Koenig, who has moved a bit west. Hi, Julie.
Hi, Jean, and hello, everyone. Yeah, we've been flying over the Portland area and also over the area near Shawnee Park. Let's take a look down at, I believe this is now Northwestern Parkway. Looking pretty clear, as is Southwestern Parkway, as you cross near Shawnee Park. See some cars driving down there. It's mostly black pavement. Some other main thoroughfares through this vicinity. Portland Avenue is clear. However, a lot of the side streets near Shawnee Park and also in the Portland area are still snow covered, and there are cars parked all over these neighborhoods. So you might want to be careful if you're venturing out this evening. Again, kind of the big story right now, I-65, once again a headache at rush hour. We're told that it's slow from Shepherdsville to about Crittenden Drive. Now this is the northbound lane. Northbound traffic slow from Shepherdsville to Crittenden Drive. About a 15-mile backup. Not nearly as bad as what we saw heading south last night. Good news is once you get north of Crittenden and toward the fairgrounds, things ease up a lot better as you head toward the Kennedy Bridge. We're going to be flying over the Bardstown Road area, the Highlands next, so we'll have another report for you in a few minutes. Jean.
All right, Julie, thank you. Are you still waiting for your mail to arrive? I got mine today. When we come back, we'll have the latest from the postmaster. But first, more of what you did the first time you made it out this week.
Well, I watched two people fall and bust their butts right here. So I'm out here chopping this ice so nobody else does it. That's about the best thing I've had so far.
I haven't been to work all week. I work in state government and we've had a week off.
So what have you been doing?
Well, 2 days I volunteered at the Emergency Operations Center for the city.
$16,995 at your own. Continues in the next hour. Gary Rodemeyer joins us to tell us what's coming up next. Gary?
Hello, Jean. Here's what's coming up.
tonight on the news channel here at 5:30 and 6 o'clock. First of all, the story that all of us know about. We are tired of the snow.
Crews and emergency workers who have labored around the clock. It's the latest toll from the winter storm. And the roads are one thing, but what about cleaning the parking lots and the sidewalks that give us access to services? More on that effort tonight.
And I'm Melissa Swan. Stay tuned to the news channel tonight at 6 o'clock. Hear from some of Kentucky's top officials about reevaluating how we handle a snow. Will changes be made? We'll tell you tonight at 6. And Chuck Olmstead takes us into the subdivisions, see the worst of the bad roads, and hear from angry residents.
And heading outside to capture next year's Christmas card. We escape from the storm to enjoy winter's beauty.
Those stories and much more coming up tonight at 5:30 and 6 o'clock. Gene, I'll see you in a moment.
All right, Gary, thank you. While neither rain nor snow will stop the mail, our storm of 94 sure did. But things are getting back on track slowly. Mail carriers made it out to some neighborhoods today for the first time since the storm hit. Some residents, though, still didn't get anything today, but the postmaster says they're trying to get to the mailboxes as quickly as they can.
Our strategy is to start a route, and then wherever they leave off on Thursday, continue it on Friday. Wherever they leave off on Friday, continue it on Saturday, so that everybody will get mail delivery at least once, and we're hoping twice during this weekend period of time.
Post office hopes to be back to normal by early next week, but the postmaster says that all depends on how much the sun helps out by melting down the snow. And there are some folks out there in Louisville who are without water tonight because of dozens of water main breaks. This water main break at Cannons Lane and Highcliffe is just one of 36 today. Crews from the water company are working overtime trying to get them fixed. These breaks have not caused any major water outages, but there are a few folks who are high and dry. We could see more problems this weekend as temperatures go above freezing and pipes begin to thaw. We'll be back with a final look at the traffic conditions from Sky 11, but first, more from you on the first thing you did once you made it outside.
Have you been here all week?
No, I was in Europe until yesterday. And I saw it on the TV in Europe.
You saw this storm on TV in Europe?
Louisville, yeah, absolutely.
What did you think?
I thought that maybe I should stay there.
We just want to check in one last time with Julie Koenig in Sky 11. Julie, are things looking any better out there?
They're looking okay, Gene, I guess, if you don't have to be on I-65, and that's not even as bad as it has been earlier this week. Let's take a look. We're over Bardstown Road right now, kind of circling the Highlands area. Bardstown looking pretty good. Usually that's bumper to bumper all the time. I think it's kind of slow going there as you head southeast. Look pretty good at the intersection of Bardstown and Broadway. We haven't been over 264 yet, but where we just came from, 264 in the northwest section of Jefferson County looks pretty good. Traffic over the Sherman-Minton is picking up again. Traffic over the Clark Memorial Bridge and the JFK Bridge moving well, but about as slow as it is for rush hour. Again, we want to remind you that northbound 65, there is a bit of a slow up in between Shepherdsville and about the area of Crittenden Drive. So that's about a 15-mile stretch. Again, they were trying to remove some tractor trailers from Fern Valley Road, which was closed at the last time I checked in with the county police. I don't know if it's open at this point. But again, that was causing the slow up because motorists were trying to get onto northbound 65 from Fern Valley, having to dodge all that traffic, and that was causing some of the congestion. Once you get north of Crittenden Drive, though, we're told that it's supposed to be a lot better. We'll be flying back over that vicinity in about 20 minutes and give you another update there. Again, here we are. We're heading now northeast on Bardstown Road. Traffic kind of slow, but not too bad. At least we can see the pavement. So as far as the side streets go, still be very, very careful in this vicinity because I know from a lot of the folks in the newsroom who live in the Highlands, they're still pretty icy. We're going to be heading over to St. Matthews, checking out US 60, the traffic near the malls, and also Brownsboro Road. So we'll give you another update for those of you heading home. We'll see you in the 5:30 show. Gene?
Julie, it sure is pretty with the sun setting on the snow that way, so thanks so much for talking with us. Julie Koenig, Lion Sky 11. We'll hear from her again in our 5:30 newscast. And that's it from here in our 5 o'clock newscast, but stay with us. Gary Rodemeyer joins me for the 5:30 news coming up right now.
You've just watched Kentuckiana's News Channel, voted Kentucky's best newscast by the Associated Press.